I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. All right, so I'm jumping over to YouTube Live. Please join me over there. But I'm going to go through every play. I don't think they're going to train any running backs. I'm also on Instagram Live right now. So Christian McCaffrey looks really good. Trent Williams spoke after practice, and I couldn't even get the question out. I was like, hey, I know he's usually running by you, but Christian McCaffrey, and Trent Williams just kind of laughed. He was like, yeah, he looks like Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. So I think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a big year. If you're playing fantasy football, Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle look really, really good. They look, he's healthier than he's ever been, is what he's saying. He feels great. He looks fast. Christian McCaffrey looks fast. He looks like 2023 Christian McCaffrey. So hop on over to YouTube at Jennifer Lee Chan, just like here. All my handles on all my social media are exactly the same, at Jennifer Lee Chan, all one word. All right, head on over to YouTube. I will come back and do Instagram Live a little bit later, maybe, probably not today, but I'm going to go to YouTube and talk for, I don't know, an hour. Just kidding, not an hour. But anyways, head on over to YouTube. Bye, Instagram people. Come on over. All right, YouTube people. I went through every single play yesterday, and everybody seemed to like that. So I'm kind of going to break that down again. So it was Thursday at practice. And let me get to my notes. And it was a shorter practice today. It was about 90 minutes. On Wednesday, it was a 2-hour practice. So it was a little bit less. So let's see here. Yep. CMC is going to be a beast this year. If you play fantasy, if you can draft him, because he's going to be, I mean, he looks really good. All right. So today, we haven't seen Dominic Pooney working out, and I saw him today. He was on the side field, so that's good news. He was out there with a band on his legs, kind of doing knee opening things. So adductor work, also strengthening his knees, because that's what happened, right? He had the knee sprain. He landed heavy on his knee, and I know everybody's saying it's the field goal. Why is he in there on the field goal? It wasn't the field goal. My sources say not on the field goal. Just telling you. It was not on the field goal. It was another play. And if you watch every play, he was only on the field for 11 plays. There's a play where Dominic Pooney, he's on the ground and his knee hit the ground hard. That is the play that it happened on. He stayed in there, and then they realized that he couldn't stay in there anymore, knee sprain. So that is what happened to Dominic Pooney. It was not on the field goal. I'm just telling you. Trust me. It was when there's one play out of the 11 plays he was on the field, there's one where he went down and his knee hit the ground. There's no other play where his knee touches the ground. Every other play, he's upright. So you can watch the first 11 plays. It doesn't take very long, and you will see him go down. One play. Went out there again for the field goal. Guys, starters are out there on field goals, because what if guys come over and they impose on Jake Moody? Then you're all mad at Jake Moody. We'll talk about him a little later. Not a great day for Jake Moody. All right. So they had a few roster moves. Tanner Mordecai is back, and Nate Sudfeld has been released. So they signed Sky Moore. They signed Tanner Mordecai. They waived or released Nate Sudfeld, and then placed Trey Brown on injured reserve. Now, Trey Brown was going to be their backup, and we haven't seen him at all during training camp. So I guess he's not getting better. And I do think that they're hoping that Yetur Gross-Matos comes back so that he can get out there as well. But it's maybe looks like he might be on PUP to start the year. All right. So I saw Pooney on the side field. He was working out, which is a great sign, which means he's upright. He's working, because we hadn't seen him before. I'm going to take a sip of my protein drink. Sorry. Also saw Jordan Watkins. I haven't seen Jordan Watkins working out also. And because he had the ankle sprain, He didn't feel it until the next day. He said it was discomfort. They went in, they did x-rays, and it was a high ankle sprain. He was out there stomping on the ground just to kind of test his ankles. So I think he's closer than obviously anyone else, but he was out there stomping on the ground. It was odd. I was like, what is he doing? But he was testing his ankles. So Jordan Watkins should be back soon-ish. Russell Gage, MCL sprain yesterday, did not practice at all. So he kind of landed funny on it, weird in one-on-ones, finished the rep, and then went to the side and did not participate in team drills. So he was out. So this is another wide receiver. This is why they had to sign Sky Moore. Russell Gage out. I don't know when he's going to be back. I know they really like him. And then Demarcus Robinson was working on the side field during the beginning of practice. And I was like, oh my God, is he not going to practice either? But Demarcus Robinson needed a little bit extra warm-up. And so once he got through the warm-up with the trainers, he went back on the field. And Demarcus Robinson did participate in team drills today. So that is good. All right. The full list of guys who did not practice. And I have Demarcus Robinson practicing because he did eventually go into team drills. All right. Mac Jones, knee sprain. Juwan Jennings still out. Jordan Watkins still out. Now we haven't seen Juwan Jennings working out with on the side field with the trainers. And I have my binoculars out. It was funny. One of the staff members goes, "What are you watching with your binoculars?" I'm like, all the injured players over there because they're so far away I can't see them. So I did see Dominic Pooney and Jordan Watkins. I did not see Juwan Jennings. Also have not seen. Let's see. So Juwan Jennings, Jordan Watkins, Jacob Cowing. Have not seen him. I did see Upton Stout kind of working on the side field, but I have not seen Jacob Cowing, which is not good. He was out there. He was doing team drills and then re-injured his hamstring. So not good for him. Trey Brown went on IR. Richie Grant, haven't seen him. Jordan James with a hand. He was doing lower body working out because he can. Fabian Moreau, still haven't seen him. Stone Blanton was been out for a couple days. Dominic Pooney, Ben Barch, Russell Gage, Kevin Givens will be on IR to return is what I'm thinking. Still no Michael Williams and no CJ West. So it's a long list of injuries. But again, comparing it to 2020, this is nothing. In 2020, those guys all had season-ending injuries by week 2. So it was a shorter practice day, 90 minutes. And again, normally they do 4 plays first team, 4 plays second team, first team, back and forth. This time they did a little bit longer series. So Brock Purdy was out there for 6 plays, and then it would be second team. Trent Williams, again, every rep with the first team. Trent Williams was on the ground 3 times today. And the last time he just laid there and everybody was like, oh my God, what happened? And he was just frustrated and waited for everybody to come over and pick him up off the ground. He needed some help to get up. Doesn't like being on the ground, and they're not supposed to take him to the ground. At that last one, Christian McCaffrey, I think, was trying to jump over him and landed on top of him. Obviously, they're all fine. Trent Williams spoke to us after practice, and he was like, it's part of the game. Everybody's going full speed, and it's hard to pull back. So, all right. So these are the plays. So this is team drills, and it was 6 plays at a time for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy run to Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy pass to Robbie Chosen. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey handoff again. Brock Purdy finds Demarcus Robinson. Another run by Christian McCaffrey, and then that run by Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Elliott was right in there making the stop, and then a pass to George Kittle. Starting defensive line was Bryce Huff, Alfred Collins, Jordan Elliott, and Sam Okwonu. So I don't think Nick Bosa is going to do team drills for the rest of training camp. And if he does, maybe it's when we aren't out there. So I think Monday next week or next week might be the last of the training camp where we can see 11 on 11. After training camp's over, media is not allowed to see any of it. So that was the first series. Second series, it was Carter Bradley, run to Raheem Mostert. Luke Farrell caught a ball, run by Jeff Wilson Jr. Luke Farrell caught another ball, pass to Robbie Chosen. And on that one, Chase Lucas was in very close coverage, and he was really upset that it was a complete pass. Let's see. All right. Next series, Brock Purdy was on the field for five plays. Pass to Ricky Pearsall. Their connection has still been really good. Renardo Green and Deommodore Lenoir were in coverage on that. Base downs, it is D. Winters, Fred Warner, and Luke Gifford as three linebackers. And what I've seen in practice, the safeties, it's been Jason Pinnock, and then they've been alternating with Marquise Siegel and Jair Brown. So like Tim Ryan told me, it is Jason Pinnock as the starting safety, and then Jair Brown and Marquise Siegel are competing for that second role. All right, so that series. First pass was to Ricky Pearsall. Second was a run by Isaac Garendo, who looks really good, looks fast. Next one was a run to Christian McCaffrey. And then another pass to Ricky Pearsall. That was Saran Neal in coverage, and then a run by Isaac Garendo. So 5 plays, pass, run, pass, run. And it was Isaac Garendo in there, as opposed to Wednesday, which was so much Christian McCaffrey. All right, 3 plays by Carter Bradley, run by Keyshawn Vaughn. Another one where the ball went on the ground, and then a run by Jeff Wilson Jr. All right. And that Tatum Bethune, Nick Martin were in there. Curtis Robinson was the second string of the linebackers. All right. Then Brock Purdy went back out there, and it was 4 plays. First one was a pass to George Kittle down the left side. He was wide open, by himself. Then it was a handoff to Ricky Pearsall, who is going to be used in these types of situations. I can't tell you the exact play type, scheme type thing, but it was a handoff to Ricky Pearsall. And it was a drop. Didn't work out. This is when Sky Moore came out. So Sky Moore came out, and he was in like 1 or 2 plays. He was out there. Third play of this series, run by Isaac Rendo. Fred Warner came over, punched the ball out, and had a huge celebration. Next play, run by Christian McCaffrey. Again, Fred Warner comes out to punch the ball out, but he didn't get it. 2 plays by Carter Bradley, pass to Isaiah Hodgins, and Darrell Luter was in coverage, and then another one, a run by Jeff Wilson Jr. All right. You guys get ads when I'm live? Really? That's weird. Pinnock Siegel week 1. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Let's see. Excited about Purdy Pearsall. They are on one together. Purdy and Pearsall, their connection is really good. Yes, Michael Williams has not been practicing. All right. Jake Moody. 4 kicks today. First one, 33 yards, makes it. Second one, 40 yards, makes that one. Third one, 47 yards, wide left. Next one, some were saying 53, some were saying 55. I'm going to say 54 yards. Hits the right side upright, bounces out. And so 2 makes, 2 misses, Jake Moody today. Brant Boyer spoke to us afterwards. He thinks that what Jake did in the Las Vegas game could change his career. The fact that it was, that he, missed one, had a really shaky 26-yarder, and then came back for a pressure kick at 44 yards, and then the game winner at 59, thinks that that's great. We'll see. So Junior Bergen was on returns, but Sky Moore is a guy who could also do returns. So it could be a reason that guy, he comes in as well. All right. Okay. Most fun moment of the day was when the DJ played Return of the Mac, and Trent Williams and George Kittle did a slow dance from the sidelines to the middle of the field to the beat of the song. It was hilarious. I love that they both are loving training camp right now. All right, then they did red zone drills. Let's see, like last week, did they sign an online play? They signed an offensive lineman 2 days ago. Mostly been with the second team, third team, so we haven't seen a lot of him, but yes, they did. If you missed my live yesterday, Connor Colby is probably going to start at right guard if Dominic Pooney can't. Nick Zakel has been on the left side, but Ben Barge can play with this big arm brace. They're just not putting Ben Barge in practice right now. He has a big right arm brace for the elbow. He can play with it. So he'll play at the left side. Connor Colby will be at right guard, I think, because I think they would put Nick Zakel at right side. Connor Colby was seen on the left side previously, and now he's on the right side. So I think that Connor Colby has won the backup position for Dominic Pooney as opposed to Nick Zakel. Let's see. All right. Then they did red zone drills. Brock Purdy was on the field for 4 plays, and even if they make a touchdown, they'll move it back and go for it again. All right. Yes, return to the MAC is old school, but I mean, Trent Williams is, a veteran. He knows it. So it was hilarious. Okay. Red zone. Brock Purdy completed a pass to Isaiah Hodgins. And at this point, there were different plays where it wasn't always first team against first team. So Fred Warner wasn't always out there when Brock Purdy was out there. There were times where it was for ones versus twos and then twos versus ones. So, or maybe ones versus twos and then twos versus threes, where the first team got a little bit of a rest. But Fred Warner wasn't out there for every first team rep. And again, like I said before, Nick Bosa did not participate in team drills at all yesterday or today. Did all the individual stuff though. So I'll post some video of him doing pass rushing drills with the guys, but just individual. All right. So pass to Isaiah Hodgins, not a touchdown. Next one, run by Christian McCaffrey, touchdown. D. Winters was the closest guy, but Christian McCaffrey got in front of him. All right. Next one, Brock Purdy passed to Ricky Pearsall. There was debate whether he was in or not. When Ricky Pearsall came in and spoke to us afterwards, we're like, oh, no, you had 2 toes. And he's like, no, I didn't. He's like, I got to get that other toe in. So Ricky Pearsall is saying no. The ref said he was out of bounds. So that's what I went on. But someone else was thinking he did. 4th play, pass to Kyle Juszczyk, who looks also, these guys are all going to the Fountain of Youth. Kyle Juszczyk looks amazing as well. I didn't write down whether it was a touchdown or not. Carter Bradley, 2 plays. One was a run by Jeff Wilson Jr. that looked really good. And then the next one, Robert Beals Jr., who is back, Robert Beals back, sacked Carter Bradley. Tanner Mordecai was in for a couple plays. He had a pass to Isaiah Hodgins, and that was a touchdown. And then an incomplete pass to Keyshawn Vaughn, and Darrell Luter broke up that pass. All right, Brock Purdy went back out for red zone. Pass to Isaac Guerendo, good pass. And so this is first team, and it was D. Winters, Chaz Surratt. So Fred Warner wasn't in for this one. So they kind of had a mix of wide linebackers in there. So pass to Isaac Guerendo, run by Christian McCaffrey, and then a pass that was broken up by intended for Ricky Pearsall. And it was Chase Lucas who broke that one up. So Brock Purdy was out there, continued to stay out there, run by Christian McCaffrey. And this is the one where Trent Williams was on the ground one of the times and did not look happy. Another completion to George Kittle. And this is when Sky Moore was in. He was just in there kind of not catching anything, but kind of running some routes. There was a false start by the offense. And then I think it was a run by Christian McCaffrey, but there were all these players in front of us and I couldn't see. But then there was a scuffle. One of the, little scuffles that these guys have. And I'll let you guess who started it. He's the guy who always kind of starts these things. Fred Warner started that. Tanner Mordecai went out for a little bit, looked like a run, a pass, and then a run by Jeff Wilson Jr. Then it was a 2-minute drill. I know. They need Christian McCaffrey all season. 2-minute drill, move the ball series. It's the last little bit of practice today. And it was the best pass of the day was this pass from Brock Purdy to Ricky Pearsall to open up this drive. He threw it up, and Ricky Pearsall high pointed the ball, caught it, and literally everybody around me was like, oh. So great pass from Brock to Ricky Pearsall. I couldn't even see who was in coverage. It was just Ricky Pearsall leapt up in the air and had the ball in his hands. All right. Let's see. A run by Christian McCaffrey was the second play. Pass to George Kittle completion. D. Winters was the closest guy. Pass to Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk had an active day today. And then a pass to Tariq Owens that was broken up by Deommodore Lenoir. Run by Isaac Orendo. Pass to George Kittle. And that was right on the sun. This is kind of like a tie for the best pass of the day. Brock Purdy found George Kittle on the left side. Jair Brown was in coverage, and George practices these every day at the beginning of practice. Both toes down, goes out of bounds, but with the toes down. Toe drag swag for George Kittle. Then it was a pitch back to Christian McCaffrey, and then another pass to Christian McCaffrey. The last play was a throwaway pressure on Brock Purdy. So they did not score a touchdown, but moved the ball pretty efficiently down the field. Let's see. Are you asking me what my drink is? No, it's a protein shake because I just worked out. This is why it's late. I flew back to LA, landed at like 5, came home, sweaty mess because it was hot in San Jose today. I know I'm complaining. So then I had to go get a workout in, and here I am drinking my protein shake while we go through the plays. So, chocolate, peanut butter, banana. Best way to go. Do you guys have any questions at all? Yes, I attend camp every year. I try to go to as many practices as possible. I think I missed 2 practices so far. But mostly, most all of them. Brett Boyer spoke today after practice. Trent Williams spoke. Trent Williams had some great things to say about Bryce Huff. And he said, someone asked, is it Bryce Huff because he has a low center of gravity? And they said, and Trent Williams said, no, it's not just his low center of gravity. He's like, you wouldn't think a guy of that stature, is what he said, would be as strong as he is, but he's really strong, uses his hands really well, and powers through it. He's very quick, very fast, gets around the edge. So Trent Williams is very complimentary of Bryce Huff. So if Bryce Huff is effective on the opposite side of Nick Bosa, I think the pass rusher is going to be a lot better. If the guys in the middle can stay healthy, and we're talking Jordan Elliott, Sam Okuanu, if CJ West can get back, if Alfred Collins can get into good shape, they're going to be the run stuffers. But Jordan Elliott looks really good. I think he's going to have a great season. Sam Okuanu was good last year. So for those guys to come back and be in their second year, I think they're going to be really effective. Who do you think will win QB2 since Mac Jones is out? I think it's going to be Carter Bradley. We're going to see a lot of Carter Bradley, but Tanner Mordecai, he was just there. So he knows the offense pretty well. So I think he's going to be, you'll see both of them. I don't think Brock's going to play. Is Jair Brown struggling? Jair Brown was struggling last year. So this is why they drafted Marquise Siegel. Jason Pinnock is a guy who's a vet who they think is going to, be solid. They wanted to get someone who was going to hold the place while Malik Mustafa is recovering. So Malik Mustafa, again, ACL surgery happened after the season was over. The injury happened in the final game. So it's going to take a while for him to get back. He is a quick healer, but in college when he was at Wake Forest, injured his ACL at the end of the season, had ACL surgery, and was ready by week 1. That's a great story. but it's the same knee that he injured. So they want to make sure that it's safe and it's healthy and he doesn't injure it again, because they need him to make it through the entire season and the postseason, right? They want to be in the postseason. So see, I mean, it could be Siegel and Mustafa by the end of the year, but Jason Pinnock is a vet. He's really good at what he does, but I think they'll give Siegel a chance, and if he plays really well, he wins a spot. But Malik Mustafa, they can't guarantee that no one can guarantee that he's going to play this year. I would think he does, but, I don't know. I don't bet on games. I do play fantasy football, though. 2 leagues. I tried 3. It was too much. Let's see. What else? Do you guys have any questions? I think there's the linebacker position is good with Fred Warner, D. Winters. There's a lot of competition between Tatum Bethune. Nick Martin is playing better. I think it's going to be a lot for him to play, be the third guy. But Luke Gifford has been playing well. He's been running with the ones. At nickel, could be Chase Lucas until Upton Stout gets better. Upton Stout should be back soon. I know they wanted him back for Raiders week, but he wasn't healthy enough. Michael Williams is supposed to be back this week, but he wasn't healthy enough. I think Michael Williams will be back before CJ West is, with that hyperextended knee. Who else? Again, we talked about Ben Bartchell play. Seeing Dominic Pooney was good today. Kevin Gibbons will start this season on IR. And, the big question is Juwan Jennings. I have no idea how he's feeling. Kyle Shanahan has not said anything about what his status is, how his healing is going. So, yeah. Do I believe Cowing has a spot on the team when Robinson and Jennings are back? I mean, the thing is, Jacob Cowing was going to be the returner. So they really liked him. They thought he had the best offseason, best mini camp, because he worked with Brock Purdy during the offseason. It's, again, as much as you want, Jordan Watkins to be a guy who has a great rookie year, I think he will. But let's not forget that wide receivers in Kyle Shanahan's offense struggle in their first year. Yes, they'll put up stats, but it's tough. It's not an easy offense to wrap your head around. It is a challenge, and there are very few wide receivers. And this is why Brandon Ayuk had the sophomore slump, because he came in, it was COVID, Deebo Samuel was up and down, he was injured. The wide receiver that they had, it was Brandon Ayuk. So I think he came into the second year thinking, all right, I've got it down. And it didn't work out so well. So it's just kind of the way things go. Ricky Pearsall, though, I think, he's never said that. He's not like that. I've got it. Even when I asked him about when things started to click with him and Brock, he's like, we never say we've got it. We always have to get better. We always have stuff to work on. But it did start getting better for them and their communication and their chemistry because they worked during the offseason together. Why are there audio issues during the press conference while asking questions? Okay, so there's a mic at the podium. There is not a mic for us that we pass around asking questions. So it's a free-for-all. You ask questions, and there's mics on the ceiling that catch our sound, and they have to turn those up really loud so it absorbs our sound when we're asking questions, and then it goes to the podium where they have to adjust the sound when they start talking. So, yeah. They improved the press conference this year. I think it's better this year. Like when I was listening to the audio, because that's how I do my transcriptions, I listen to the audio, I could actually hear the questions. I think it's better. So I think so too. But yeah, Jacob Cowing, I think was going to be a wide receiver more than a returner this year. And that's why they drafted Junior Bergen. Well, with Jacob Cowing out, do they put it all on Junior Bergen? I'm not sure. So we'll see how that goes. They'll probably get a chance to show what they're able to do on Saturday. Kickoff is at 5 p.m. I don't know if any of you are going, but I'll be there. it is hot as heck in Levi's. So hydrate, everybody. Hydration, no soft tissue injuries. All right, I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to ask some questions if you'd like. Ricky Pearsall talked about the wide receivers room, and he said, Juwan Jennings, Demarcus Robinson, Brandon Ayuk are always in there. They're answering questions, and Brandon Ayuk has been really visible with the wide receivers, and it's an extra veteran mentor voice that's out there that I think will help these young receivers. So, does Drew Moss make the team? I don't know. He's a guy probably that they could revert back to the practice squad, and I don't know that he would get poached. So maybe. Do you answer the favorite thing about training camp questions? I'm confused. Did you answer what's my favorite thing about training camp? Is that what the question was, or my favorite player? Let's see. I'll go up here. Most important player on the team, Trent? Yeah, I mean, honestly, the most important player on every football team is the quarterback. They touch the ball every single offensive play, so they are really important. But of course, yes, they have to be protected. All right. Is that it? All right. So that is every single play. What's my favorite part about training camp is being able to see the 11 on 11s. We don't get that privilege during the year. Back in the day when it was, who was Mike Nolan, everybody was allowed to watch the entire practice all season long. So you would get to see the scheming. You would get to see the plays that they were going to run for a certain defense. It kind of helps every journalist do their job. Now, that was before everybody recorded everything, and there was so much social media, and before Spygate. And so now, I mean, I would put my phone in a basket, take my notepad, take my pen away. I would just love to watch practice every single day. It would help me do my job better if I wouldn't report it, but someone will read it. So when Jim Harbaugh came in, he said, no more 11 on 11 practice. You can only see up to team drills and calisthenics. And I think that's kind of the way it is across the league. It was kind of that Mike Nolan era where you could watch 11 on 11s all season long. But so, yeah, when you see plays on the field, you're as surprised as I am because I haven't seen any of them in practice because they don't let us watch 11 on 11. So my favorite part of training camp is being able to watch that. During the regular season, we only see, warm-ups, individuals, quarterbacks, receivers, quarterbacks, running backs. So, yeah, I like seeing what's behind, how the sausage is made, what happens behind the curtain. Who is Oz? I want to pull the curtains back and be able to watch everything. But we're not allowed to because some people would ruin it for everybody and put all the secrets out there. And then, there's Spygate too. So, but yeah, I would love to just sit in the bleachers and watch. I would also, at some point in my reporting career, want to sit on one of Kyle Shanahan's team meetings where he goes over film. Everybody is mind blown. All the players are. I want to sit in one of those meetings. That's my goal at some point. What do you think the 49ers record will be at the end of the season? Vegas has them at 10.5 wins. I would say that's about right. Looking at as long as they stay healthy, looking at their schedule and who they have on the roster. And I'm shiny because I worked out. I think they could go 10 or 11 wins. I think Vegas knows best. So, yeah, that's what I think. As long as they stay healthy, 10, 11 wins sounds about right. Make to the playoffs, and then we'll see. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the live stream here. Leave comments, questions, and I'll post some more videos. I did post the Trent Williams comment. I literally was like, I had said Christian McCaffrey. He's like, I'm like, do you want me to finish the question? You just want to go? And he just answered the question. Love Trent Williams. So, all right. Good night, everybody. No practice on Friday. and I may do a live, we'll see, or I may do just a stand-up video. No practice on Friday. Game kickoff is on Saturday at 5 p.m. All right. Hope you guys are all well. That was fun. Talk to you soon. Bye.